Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are listening and watching from. And welcome to our weekly analysis. Today is 2nd of June 2024, and the analysis of today will be based on what I'll be watching from 3rd till 7th of June 2024. But before I go further, I would like to apologize for what happened last week. I never knew throughout the analysis section I forgot to put on my microphone. So that was why it was a kind of silent. I was very pained. So I'm very, very sorry on behalf of myself for whatever inconvenience I might have caused. Because I later, when I got a call that it was unaudible, so I decided to play it to check, and it was dead silent. So I'm very sorry for that. It's a technical and human error. It's an human error. I cannot say it's a technical error because I was the one who forgot to put on the microphone. So I took up the responsibility and I say I'm sorry. So I will recap a little bit on what I said on that video. I mentioned that in one of my video early this month, early last month, we are now in June. I specifically said on dollar index, I'll be bearish for the month of May. I was bearish for the month of May. That means I'll be bullish on Euro USD, GBP USD, and the likes. So I have said it when the month started, and if you will check, let's quickly check the monthly. What was the monthly candle that forms? Was it bullish or it was bearish? Let's see. You can see the month of May is bullish. The month of May was bullish. This is the monthly candle. So the monthly candle was what? Was bearish. Sorry. I said I'll be bearish for the month of May. So now we are going into another month. We are heading into the price action that will form in the month of June. Personally, in the month of June, I'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the do together. Before I dive into what I said last week versus what really happens in the month of June, I expect the market to be bullish. I expect the dollar market to to be bullish personally, but the criteria that will warrant me going bearish, if it is met, I will go bearish. So we will dive into it much more in depth and in more detailed. Let me put it that way, more detailed, as the month goes. But personally, I would like to see a bullish movement for the month of June. I'm not really sure, but I'll be expecting, personally, I'll be expecting a bullish movement. I would like to see a bullish movement, but I will not ascertain that until the market opens. But on the daily interval, I personally will be able to check what's gonna happen at least 1 week. At least 1 week. So on the video of last week, I said I'll be sticking to the previous week's analysis, which says I'm watching 103.880. So, and I said I'll be interested in 103.880 if the market closes below 104.522. If I see price trading below 104.522, I'll be going for 103.880. But in the case whereby the price trades above 104.522, I will be interested in 105,000 and 105.500. I think the error I made here was that I refused to bring out the navigation, the coordinates. So I was interested in 105,000 as the 105 big figure, 105.000, and 105.500. 105.500. So as of last week, 105.00 was delivered. 105.00 was delivered, to be sure. Let me bring up something out of it. Ooh. 105. Okay, 105,000. Let me punch it in. Boom. we can see 105,000 being delivered on. It was delivered on Wednesday and on Thursday. It was delivered on Wednesday and Thursday. So 105,000 was delivered. But now we are heading into another month. And that same premise remains, because that is how we use to determine how I will love to approach the market. I have my eye on 104.522. And the market, if the price continues to close above 104.522, I'll be seeing 105.500 to be my target for the month, for the coming week. So 105.500 my target for the coming week. 105.500 to be revisited. So I expect 105 big figure to be to be revisited to 105.500 if the price continues to trade above 104.522. But if we can see a movement below 104.500, then I'll be aiming for 103.880. Those are the range I am watching. So I'm watching the liquidity below the liquidity below this swing low, this low, the liquidity below that swing low towards 103.880, and the one above this, they are hunts above 105.000. So if we are given 105.00 and the market continues moving, I'll be interested in 105.500. That will be my next take profits. So 103.880 will be my first TP if market prices below 104.522. That means I will be bearish. So 103.880 will be my first take profits. Then I'll be looking if I will be able to see 103.500. So if I will be going bullish, I'll be looking for 105.000 up to 105.500. So those are the range I'm watching on dollar index. But the spirit in me would love to see 105 big figure to be revisited and give us a possible movement into 105.500. So I don't want to be long on that. So let's go into Euro USD. As for Euro USD, in the last video, which was not audible, I said I will be sticking with my previous week analysis as well. That was what I said in that video. So I said if I see the market closes above 1.08 thousand, which was this figure here, 1.08 thousand. If I see a movement above 1.08 thousand, I'll be going for 1.09 thousand. I'll be going for 1.09 thousand, which was what the market see us do. But if the market trades below 1.08 thousand, I'll be going for 1.07528. That was the context of that video. But for the coming week, I will be sticking to that premise as well, because I need more intel. We are in a new month and we are at the middle of the year, and we expect some kind of seasonal tendency to come in place. So in the coming week I'll be interested in 1.09 thousand. If we continue to close above, if price continue to close above 1.08 thousand, if I see 1.08 thousand serves as the support of the market, I'll be going for 1.09 thousand, then 1.09500. But if 1.08 thousand serves as a resistance, I'll be going hard into 1.07528. So that is that on Euro USD. But that is that on Euro USD. Then 1.07528. if we see a movement below 1.08 thousand. But if the movement remains above 1.08 thousand, I'm going for 1.0900 sorry. So as the market opens and as the week progresses, I'll try as much as possible to give updates on it. But personally, the first week of the month, I'm always nimble. Yes, I'm always nimble. So I don't rush it. Now, last week video, I mentioned on GBP USD that categorically I'll be interested in 1.28 thousand. And 1.28 thousand was delivered on Tuesday. Let me bring it out. Let me zoom out. 1.28 thousand. This is 1.28 thousand. Now let's see the eye of this candle. This candle here. The eye comes in at 1.28 thousand and 6. 1.28 thousand and what? And 6. You call that a coincidence? No. It's just that the act of reading the market, the act of seeing it coming before it actually arrives. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with magic. So that was met, that was that. And for the coming week, what will I be watching? For the coming week, I'll be watching how the market reacts around 1.27500. If I see a movement, presently the market is at 1.27399. 1.27399. 1.27399. Fine. I'll be interested in the market visiting 1.27000. That is the lowest hanging fruit. 1.27000. 1.27000. 1.27000. So if I should see a possible continuation of movement, if I see the movement continues, I'll be watching 1.26,000 on longer term. 1.26,000, 1.26500. So 1.26500, 1.26,000. So I'll be watching 1.27,000, 1.26500, and 1.26,000. In the course of the month of June. But I would have loved to see a movement into 1.28219. 1.28219. I would have loved the market to deliver that. But the lowest hanging fruit is a retracement into 1.27,000. So how the market reacts to 1.27500 and 1.27,000 will determine if I'll be going back into 1.28,000, 1.28219, and 1.28500. Those are the levels I will be watching. So now, if 1.27500 and 1.27000, both level, that range, if it serves as a support to the price, I'll be going for 1.28000 and 1.28219, 1.28500. But if that level, that range of 1.27500 and 1.27000 serves as a resistance to the price, I will be going into 1.26500 and 1.26000. That is what I personally will be watching. Then Nasdaq. On Nasdaq last week, I said whenever anything is about to happen on the market, Nasdaq, Dow, and S&P 500, the trio moves in tandem. So, and if anything wanna happen on the market, either of them at least one will serve as a leading indicator. Will serve as a what? As a leading indicator. I was interested in last week I was interested in 19,000 on Nasdaq because I am not in the market to call the highs and lows of the market. Okay, I move with the market, but when I got to Dow futures, I categorically mentioned that Dow is the leading indicator among the three of them now, because while Nasdaq and S&P 500 are busy pushing up, Dow is forming a lower movement pattern. So that means 19,000 was not delivered on Nasdaq. So what do I see next? What I saw next is a movement into this low here, the low of this candle. The low of that candle comes in at 18. The low of that candle comes in at 18,084.41. The lowest hanging fruit. Okay, let me bring out the coordinates so that it will be more easier to navigate. So in a nutshell, I will be looking to be bearish on Nasdaq US, Nasdaq Dow and S&P 500 now. I'm interested in being bearish. Okay. 180.84.41. So I'll be interested in a delivery into that area before the week ends. Then let's go to Dow futures. Dow futures last week I mentioned 38,470. That was what I was 38,470 and 38,000. I said 39,500 as my watch. 39,500 as my watch, and I mentioned if the price continues to trade below 39,500, I will be bearish. I said that I will be bearish, and I will be looking for movements into 38,800, 38,470, 38,800 and into 38,470. So 38,470 has been delivered. So Where am I heading next? Where am I heading? I will be interested in taking this low here. I'll be interested in taking this low. So I'll be interested in the market gravitating towards 37,803. 37,803. That'll be what I'll be watching the coming week. 37,803. So S&P 500. I'm trying to cut everything short. The only fear that takes our time is the dollar index, because it's our baseline. So S&P 500, I mentioned 5247. I think that was the only level I mentioned on. That was the only level I mentioned on S&P 500. But with 5247, that was the volume in the gap in here, the liquidity void here. So S&P 500, 5247 has been delivered, and it has been delivered beautifully. So I'll be expecting a movement into 5300 the coming week. So I expect 5300 to serve as a resistance to the price, and I see how it reacts. So personally, I'll be interested in 5300 and movement back into 5264.85 the coming week. So let's quickly run on gold. On gold, I mentioned 2300 on gold. I remembered vividly. I mentioned 2300. I said I'm interested in 2300. So the market is just to deliver, because I said if the market trades above 2353, I'll be interested in 2400. But if the market trades below 2353, I'll be interested in 2300. So I stick to being interested in 2300 and a possible movement into 2200 in the nearest future. Nearest future, yep. So I expect the market. Okay, let me mark this sell side. I'm interested in that low. I'm interested in the low of this candle here. The low of that candle comes in at 2277. Okay, let me put it 2277. let me put it at 2277. Let me use that. So a possible movement is 2300 and 2277 in the coming week. But there is, if you look closely, you see I have unfinished business around here. But I don't think it will be attacked here now. But I expect 2300 to be delivered first and foremost. So the coming week, we see, I don't expect this fair value gap to be retraded into. It should serve as a breakaway gap. This should serve as a breakaway gap. This should serve as a breakaway gap. But we have stops above here. But I am interested in what? 2300. So let's see how the market behaves the coming week. In the course of the week, I will still give more updates on it. So at this junction, I'll be calling it a day. And thank you guys for being part of the family. Thank you for coming this far. And once again, I'm sorry, deeply sorry for what happened in the last analysis video. So we love you all. And a quick disclaimer before I leave: I am not in any way a licensed financial advisor. Everything in this video is for educational purpose and educational purpose alone. I personally act on it, does not mean you should act on it. So we are here to learn. We are here to share experience. We are here to share knowledge. So at this junction, I will call it a day. Thank you for being part of the family. Please, if you find this video insightful, like and subscribe to our channel for more. Bye for now.